Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Yes, I'm wearing a hat backwards because there's a logo that I don't think the company wants to be on my video. It's a hat company. Today we'll be talking about another movie. And, I realized, sorry, it was a hat. Until I realized, I said this movie, we're going to be doing a review on Saw. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you right now, this is the full rendition of Saw. So come along and join me while I talk about the first Saw film. Let's go. So you might be asking yourself, this is kind of itchy. We may ask yourself, Tristan, what is Saw? Some of us have not seen the 2004 slasher. Saw is a low budget film made by James Wan and Lee Winnell. If that name sounds familiar, they're the persons who made Dead Silence. Go watch that film, really good film. Insidious series and the Conjuring series, which I found out. Sorry, my nose is a little itchy. Sorry. But what makes them the most popular people on the world is because of one little slasher named Saw, which actually wasn't the first rendition of Saw. There's a little short film called Saw 3.0, which had David, who's played by Lee Winnell, who is portraying Amanda in the first film. We're gonna get into that in a little bit, but come along and join me and let's review the whole film. The movie begins with a blue light. Blue light. We're totally not gonna see that again. Until we see a man waking up and falling out of a dang bathtub. Like he's probably one of those drunk friends who are like, oh, guys, take me to a pipe and I can fill me with water. I can totally sleep in water. But then the lights flicker on. We hear Doc Raspy voice saying tells him to shut up, and he found something. The lights turn on, and this poor man gets blinded like he had to take a pee in the morning, and maybe that late in the middle of the night. Trust me, I'm one of them. Until we find out there's a dead body, blown off head. But every time we watch this film, there's one thing that always bugs me. The bullet will go through here, but the gun is to his left hand. That always confused me. But we found that his name is the guy who told him to shut the heck up. His name is Lawrence Gordon. He's a doctor. And the other guy named Adam said, "My name is very effing confused. What's your name?" Originally, I was gonna say the real word, but I didn't really ask my mom because she's at the Easter dinner. Yes, I know. Oh yeah, Easter dinner. There's a lot of stuff you know about me. But okay, this hat's really hurting me. Alright, there we go. Until then Adam finds out that he's been chained to a pipe. Of course. Because then we find out that until Dr. Gordon tells him to calm the heck down. Yeah, if you ever seen somebody, yeah, totally, tell them to calm down when they wake up in a room. Whatever. But until they fill in the pockets, and there's two envelopes with their names on it. Adam has a flannel board and tape, and Dr. Gordon, aw, we know who was the favorite child. He gets a tape bullet and a key. They both tried on the locks, but of course, Jigsaw's not that stupid. Sorry. Yeah, no. Until we found out that there's a tape. The other guy's holding a tape. Put those two brain cells together. They think, oh, we can grab the tape recorder from the guy's hand. Adam uses it and uses his thing coat and tub drainer stop or something like that, and fixes the tape, and then we get to hear the first words of Jigsaw, which I love his voice in the first film. They effed it up in the rest of the films. Show off. And then we find out that Jigsaw kidnapped Adam, and then then they both into the tapes, but Dr. Gordon says, but I'm not gonna explain what the heck they said because I forgot what they said. But then I'm stuttering over here. But then Dr. Gordon hears something from his tape. It says, "Follow your heart," and there's a heart on the toilet, and Adam, being a wuss puss, digs his hand in the toilet. Boy, if I was him, I'm showing arm deep. into there, but he finds nothing, because of course, and then he opens the toilet lid, top of the toilet, finds a bag. We know that there's two sound calls, but if you pause at the right moment, you'll see there's papers. You'll find out why I hate this guy so much. Is it already been 5 minutes in the film? Jesus. Honestly, my feet, it's gross. But then we get a flashback of the millions and millions of flashbacks, but Dr. Gordon says he might know we've done this. Excuse me. And there's a million flashbacks. I'm like, I did not ask this. And then we meet another guy named Paul, who is runged up into Razor Wire. These three detectives, who I'm telling you right now, one of them is my girl. We have Detective Singh, who if you realize X-Men, you're gonna know him from that. And we have Detective Tab, which you're gonna find out why you're gonna find out why I really don't believe in what happens to him. And we have my girl, Detective Carrie, who is I love her to death, bro. She's so cool. They find Pong, and there's a tape, and I just realized it never occurred to me, how could they hear it through that bag? It would not sound great. Do you know what I mean? But we see this really cool raw fast forwarding to Paul trying to escape, and in the unrated version, there's like an extra second of Paul fighting against the razor wire, and the door closes, and but this killer, kind of a psycho. He cuts a piece out of the person's skin as a puzzle piece. And then we see him, and then we get these really cool camera shots, and we meet Michael, who is burned to the tar. And then we find out there's a poison inside of him. Oh my god. There's a poison inside of him that he needs to find the code to the safe, and then the safe will unlock to his antidote. There's a millions of numbers on the wall. And then we get this really unnecessary shot of this badonkadonk dude running around trying to find the code, and then he gets burnt. Shush, don't talk about it, alright? I'm gonna cover it up, alright? He gets burned. And then we find out there's a peephole. We know, alright guys, we scum. And then we find a pen light. Then we get cut to Dr. Gordon talking about a patient, and he keeps saying the patient, and you're gonna find out who that old man is. But until Zeb or Zeb says his name is John, Dr. Gordon. He's a very interesting person. I'm like, and when I was talking to my mom about this, she keeps pointing it out. I'm like, okay, so what? My mom was that kind of janitor. She met patients every day. So I was so confused when she talked about that. But then Dr. Gordon gets called into his office to see Dr. Tap, Detective Tab, and Detective Singh talking about how his pen light was found at the crime scene. And then another scene, and then he gets interviewed by his lawyer. He's talking to his lawyer, who I think that are roommates. Pretty good theory out there. And then interview, and then Dr. Gordon's alibi holds up. But the detectives hate him so much that they made him listen to a story about Amanda Young. You don't understand why I hate her why she is a important character. And we get the infamous trap involved in the series that is one of my favorites to this day. The infamous bear trap, or aka the reverse bear trap. Then we get meet Billy! I love Billy, man. He's such a cool character. I want a life-size Billy doll. Like, sitting right here next to me while I talk about these films. I actually do have a 20-year anniversary box set. Some movies, but I don't want to go reach it out right now. I don't want to grab it right now. But if you want to see that in feature films, comment down below. And then we find out that there's a timer, and she finds out what happens when the timer runs out. Her face looks like disgusting. Imagine it looking like those stuffed breads filled with disgustingness. Yeah, it's really gross. Then we see this really cool rock shot of Mana trying to rip off her bear tent. And then we see her dead inmate, laying on the floor like, yo, what the crap? And then we see, and then she grabs she grabs the scalpel and freaking pumpkin carves the shisha out of her. You know, I was gonna say the S word. I am not that dumb. The crap out of him, and then we find out he's hit with the opium overdose. Couldn't feel feel or hear much of anything. So he was alive when he was getting mercilessly murdered. That's kind of a messed up way. And then there's in the unrated version, which all the 7 movies are rated except the 3 new films. You can see poor man digging through his gut and putting his hand down the stomach. Now what you could have done is stop the crap out of the guy's freaking stomach and make him puke out the key. But hey, it's all you gotta need gore. Now now there's like so much boring crap. Let's get into the good stuff. Back at the station, the Tap is looking into the Billy tape to find anything. Sing is going to a bar, roast his friend, and then they find out where the place is. I'm like, yo, first you roast your friend, then you're helping him? Whatever. And then they find out it's a mannequin shop. Whoopie-doo. And then we get to see this really unnecessary shot of them looking through it. They see a miniature version of the little bathroom trap. And then we get to see the pig head, and we can see Billy, and then we find a man named Jeff. Now, you're gonna hear that name again in the future films. Stay tuned for that. He's in the drill chair, which I don't count as a trap, okay? I think he was placed there for another trap. And then we hear this old grunty man, oh my god, I'm so old. I'm so old. I'm so old. And then he says he's part of something much bigger than this, whatever he says. And then this is like 3 minutes of Sing trying to help Jeff, Tab trying to arrest the Jigsaw killer, and then Sing shoots the nails out, which you should have done in like the first place. And Tab gets his neck slit. Oh my god! Oh yeah, excuse me guys, there was another part that I missed. There's a flashback of Dr. Gordon helping his little girl playing Little Piggy, and then he gets Paige, he leaves, he gets ready to leave. Him and his wife, his name is Diana, his daughter and his wife's names are Diana and Allie. They get into an argument, he leaves. Then this creepy guy comes in, kidnaps her and his wife, and then they're now kidnapped by the creepy guy. We don't know who he is yet. And now we can get back to what happens. Then and then Jigsaw Killer and Sing have this really cool epic shot until he shoots the Jigsaw Killer, and sadly, he's not a big boob. Oh, I should say, but yeah, because his head explodes like a pumpkin. Yeah. Demi makes this funny joke saying how this movie's so dang messy. I'm like, sweetheart, you have not seen bloody yet. I'm like, sweetheart, that is not that bloody. Now, if the unrated version shown his head, not Tam, Sting's head getting blown the heck, then I'll count it as a blood so dang messy. And then there's some back and forth about with Adam and everything like that. And then I don't think need to allow, but basically Adam roasts Gordon for cheating on his wife with his secretary. Mm-hmm. To go out. Yeah. And then we find out that it is Zepp who kidnapped his wife and daughter. Yeah, it's getting good. And then we find out it's 6 o'clock because Dr. Gordon Van Game wants to kill Adam. And then I forgot to mention they found a box with the same key lock, and then you can actually hear it because I watched the films on Netflix. You can actually hear them saying what he wants to do, and then when it comes a fake cigarette, Adam smokes it, and he does the worst performance of dying I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, this was me. This is me when I was watching the film. Yeah, that was me. And then he gets electrocuted, and then we find out how Adam gets kidnapped is because he was going to this really, really gross apartment, and then he literally uses his camera flash find to look around the room. He beats the crap out of Billy, and then he gets kidnapped by Pighead. Dr. Gordon, same thing. His phone booth, trying to call somebody. Then Pighead crawls to him, creepily, and then jumps him. And now we're near the climax. Oh god, this film is such a gross film. I love it to death. We find out that now Zeb and then now Allie untied her rope and trying to untie Diana. Then Doctor and then Zeb tells the Allie to call Dr. Gordon, says time is up, and then he says it, but then Allie's a bad A and tackles Zeb, and then they fight, and then Allie gets distracted. Zeb tackles her. Dr. Gordon hears gunshots, thank his wife and daughter dead. He gets electrocuted, and then yeah, and guess who was paying? Guess who was paying Adam to take pictures of Dr. Gordon? Yeah, I know. I'm not really good at these reviews. Detective Tapp. Yep. He went crazy after his partner's death. I'm like, of course, they're like brothers. And then Tapp breaks into the home, and then him and Tapp get a fight. I mean, Zeb get in a fight, and then we have this unnecessary chasing. And then Dr. Gordon takes off his button-down shirt and ties it around his ankle, and he gives us the thing we've been waiting for this whole entire this movie. He stops off his foot, but grabs the gun, shoots at him, cries, and then Zeb shoots at him, which is complete boo-boo because in the Saw game, which I really want to play for the channel, guys, don't worry about that, don't worry about it, he does not survive, he does not die from the gunshot wound. In the game, he survives, then he has to go play with Jigsaw shenanigans, and then dies until shoots himself or he goes in a mental hospital. Which, when I found out by that, I was so pissed. I'm like, that makes us think he was dead. He was just playing Jigsaw shenanigans. And then Zeb comes in, tries to shoot. Zeb comes in. Dr. Gordon screams at him, just to kill him. Zeb checks his Adam's dead, tries to shoot him. Adam takes him down, and bashes his face in with the toilet pipe. That's boy. And then Dr. Gordon tells all this bullcrap how he was gonna help him, blah 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 blah, and then he leaves. Then we find out that Zeb has a tape. He was part of this game all along. And then the dead guy walks up, takes off his bald cap, electrocutes him, walks off, and says the infamous line that me and my mom always say to each other when he leaves. Game over, slams the door, he screams in anguish, and then the game ends. But I'm gonna do a little extra. So this has actually inspired me to do this. How many traps did Jigsaw create? Let's find out. How many traps they have? Sorry, I counted 5 traps and Saw. So we had the bathroom trap. I'm counting as 1. Yes, we have the razor wire maze, the flammable jelly, bear trap, nail gun, Zeb's trap. So excuse me, there's 6 traps. I have a runtime of how many minutes? I guess the traps in us because the trap I have no idea. The number 3 spot is going for the 3rd trap in the movie. I have to go with the flammable jelly. Really cool trap idea. Just Jigsaw's a big doofus in these ways. Number 2 for the second place of the trap, it's gonna go with Dagger Pig. Alright, this is probably gonna piss off a lot of people. It's probably gonna go with the bathroom trap. Really cool idea. Number 1 trap is going to the bathroom trap. I mean the reverse bear trap. Really cool trap. You get to see Billy, and that's it. And that's it. Saw came out in 2004 and spawned 10 films. 11 of them was gonna be released, but they canceled it. Next week, we'll be talking about Saw 2. Well, till then, I'm Tristan Jenkins. This has been the review. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I know these films are really fun to make. I already posted this, but yeah. And this is not a rip off. This is inspired me by Demi in every way. Alright, buddy. Be amazing people. Happy Easter! I don't know if they're gonna come out on Easter, but happy Easter, everybody. Have a great, amazing day. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Bye. Peace. Guys, I have sad news. Originally, nothing happened. Okay. Originally, I recorded Saw 2 review, but I forgot to turn on this thing on. So, welcome to Saw 2, where so I actually have a little cool intro, and I thought you guys would like to hear. So you ready to hear it? Are you ready? Okay, I think you're ready. Welcome to the horror movie account, where I talk about horror movies or TV shows and roast them in roasting. I'm Justin Jacobs, and today we're going to be talking about Saw 2, which was released in 2005. Saw 2 is a step forward from Saw 1. Saw 1, it was the whodunit situation. Saw 2 takes place right after Saw 1 with some crazy traps. How many traps? Let's find out. The movie begins with the first trap, Venus flytrap. A guy named Michael wakes up, screams for help, and then Billy pops on saying how he was a snitch. And now but then Jigsaw, or aka Billy Puppet, shows that where he put the key is under his eye. So then Michael really has to cut out his eye. Well, not technically not cut out his eye, because you'll understand why in the movies, in later movies. But what he could have done is cut out the stitches. Then he didn't have to be in more pain. But oh no, the time fails, and it closed shut like an animal destroying its like a bear trap. Yep. And then we cut to a really cool character that I like no one talks about that often anymore. Eric Matthews, who's played by Donnie Wahlberg. If you know, you know. With my Dead Silence fans, raise your hands, raise your hands. But he's picking up his son Daniel because he's a pickpocket. Of course, he's a teenager. Teenagers pickpocket all the time. Trust me. I've never done it before because I'm not that kind of stupid child. But then Eric and Daniel have a fight. How about Daniel wants to go back to his mom's earlier, but then Eric, being a dum-dum, said, well, then go, shouting at his son. Then he gets pissed, runs off, and then Eric tries to call him, but he does not answer. If you guys not picking up, please tell me picking up, because I don't even want to do this video again. It's going to be so long to do the first time. And then he gets a call from Detective Gary. Yeah, my girl Gary, woo! But they're going to see Michael's body. And Carrie's is being a little D-word right now, if you understand what I'm going forward with this. They see Eric said, yeah, it hits him. You see the puzzle piece, and he sees a company stamped on the mask, Wilson Steel. I think that's what it's called, something like that. Then when he was about to walk off, Carrie says, "Look closer, Detective Matthews." Then he looks up and sees the note from there. And then we get some police time, and we find out that Carrie and Eric had a relationship. Dun dun dun. Yes, they had a relationship, which is kind of weird because, like, you'll understand why. You can kind of see the clues in the later movies. Yeah, you can see it. But then Eric leaves, sleeps, and then he finds out that he knows where the place is from that little stamp mark. And then he calls one of the coolest characters of all time that I love to death, Eric Rigg, Officer Rigg. I'm gonna say, does he have a last name? No, he doesn't. Does he have a last name? I don't remember. But then they're trying to scope up the place, and he's going with Team Alpha. Team Alpha was the first one to go up there, but sadly is booby trapped. 3 officers go in there. Eric stands in front just to wait, and then Billy comes running down his tricycle and laughs, and then one of the officers literally walks up, and his knees get either his shin or knees get broken. And 2 of the officers back into an electrical fence. I'm like, yo, John Cameron, you're like an old man. How the heck can you do all this in like a span of a week or something like that? Don't know. Eric explains in the movie how he can do it because he's an old man. But then everyone goes up there. They find John Kramer, aka Jigsaw, and yeah, it is weird because it's the Morning Fox this time. It's weird because like this is like his millions of places he's been. Like he's been in a mannequin factory, you know, at a steel workshop, man, freaking factory. Never made sense for me. Never made sense to me. But then John Kramer knows Eric Matthews. He says how he's been a bad father and he wants to see his son again. And he points out a good clue. And I want you to remember this clue. John Kramer says he's in a safe place now. Holding that clue in your brain real quick. You'll understand it in a minute. Then they find TVs, and then they find out that John Kramer has Daniel and a bunch of other people. You're not gonna figure out who those people are in a minute. And we get taken the place of the nerve gas house, which I'm counting as a trap. Okay, I get that people say, "Oh, because it's a trap." It's a house with traps. It's not like a big trap. Okay. So I don't want anyone coming to me after this video is posted and say, "Oh, you viewed the nerve gas house." Who the heck cares? Okay, who the heck cares about what you think? But then we meet all the characters. Now I'm gonna try to do this again. We have Mora, Addison, Daniel, of course, Abby, Jonas, Xavier. Yes. And there's another lady laying on the floor. Cut hair. Who is that? Wait. Is that my girl Amanda? Yes, Amanda's back for the second film. Shocker, shocker. Ha ha ha. And why am I explaining that? Because you guys can't see the film. But hey, screw it, I'm not really doing this video anyway. But then Amanda freaking finds the tape and a key and a note. The tape says how there's a nerve gas and it will kill them in 2 hours. The door will open in an hour. I'm like, you do not make sense, John Kramer. Then Xavier uses the key that Gus looks into the people and his freaking head explodes off. Crap's getting deep in this one. So I'm counting the gun trap as a trap because, well, the booby trap. That's what I'm counting. I'm counting it. And then I'm gonna explain the nerve gas house, and I'm gonna explain all like the whole nerve gas house scene, and then I'm gonna explain some other stuff. I'm joking. Then we have a lot of police work. I'm gonna make this shorter because I don't want long videos. Because on either April 27th or 28th, I'm recording the full game of The Walking Dead. Because I have a mic going there. I have a mic coming, and I really hope it works. Because if it doesn't work, then I'm gonna cry. Because I really want to record video games again. Because that was like one of my favorite things to do when I was like, first doing YouTube. But then we have some cop stuff, and then we find out that John Kramer had cancer or tumor, whatever the heck you want to call it. I call it cancer. Then he tries to drive himself off a cliff, and that's how he got started in his work. But it's kind of confusing in a way because how the heck I thought you understand why I'm confused in the later movies. But then we get to let's explain some of the traps. Okay, I'm not gonna explain in full detail about the nerve gas stuff, but then Mora, a crying teenage girl, which I'm calling her right now, finds a door leads to a basement. Now my great grandma has those kind of doors, but leads up to an attic. Yeah, this movie it's strange. It's strange. Okay. But it leads to a furnace, and there's a doll with all Abby's name. He says how he was helping John Kramer with kidnap the others. The others, you say? Alrighty then. He has to crawl into a furnace just to grab the key. 2 needles, one for him, one for the others. Which sounds like a cool thing, but when he grabs the second needle, the door closes and fire starts popping out. Like, I was so confused when I watched that film. But then we find out that Abby had to turn the dial to turn off the flames because in the tape it says only the devil can help you out. I'm like, that confused me when I first watched it until I realized the devil means to turn on the lever, getting burned and stuff like that. And then we get this really intense scene in the unrated version. We get to see it, and then Daniel finds a door, a window. David breaks it. Abby screams out in agony and tries to crawl up, and he dies of the flames. And dies. That's just a sad way to go of a cool character. But a lot more police work. And then we get to the third trap, the needle pit. I'm trying not to make this longer because the video that I recorded was longer and it was just not working for me. And I should just turn on my mic. That's what I need now. If I record a video and I post it without checking my mic, I'm going to punch my phone like that. You guys flinched. I think you guys flinched. But then we get to the needle room trap, which is for Xavier, but he chooses it for Amanda. He throws her in there. She crawls under the needles, finds the key, screams, and then the door locks up because it was on a timer. Now, what confused me when I was watching this film, why didn't the timer start after the tape was played? And like, why don't the people escape from the trap before playing the tapes? Because that's what happened. That's what happened. That's how a lot of people die. But if they didn't play the trap and figured it out themselves, they wouldn't have time moment, and they can have all the time in the world to do it. That always confused me when I was watching these films again. But then Daniel's helping her pull out. But we found out that all these people have in common: jail. Back at the factory, we find out that Eric was a planter. If you don't even know what the ROM is, it means that Eric planted evidence on these people. Now that's the part of the whole game and I was like, that makes sense because he's a crooked cop. Crooked cops always do that. but then Xavier and Jonas get into a fight, and then Jonas dies from a Neobat. Oh yeah, did I tell you that Xavier carries a Neobat? But then Xavier finds out that there's numbers behind their minds, which is kind of strange. Like, how are they supposed to figure that out? And then we find out, and Laura collapses into Amanda. X mark. She points to a picture that has an X, and then it finds out that Eric is Daniel's father. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, okay, so what? Now you're letting leaving a kid in a house with a crazy man who's trying to get antidote. Then I'm, what? Oh, why'd you do that? Okay. Whatever. I don't care. And then Addison finds a room with a glass cage. I don't know how many types are in this movie. I think it's our 5th trap in the movie. Huh. Then Addison tries to grab the antidote, but then suddenly cuts her wrist. And Xavier comes in, finds the number, closes the door, and she slowly bleeds out. Really stupid. Like, that's a normal death. Bleeding out is probably most cause of death is bleeding out. I'm like, get some good explosions. Like, Now, I was originally going to do Final Destination, like the first film, but I'm like, I have not watched it. I watched the second one and the third one. Good God, why did I watch it? And that was coincidentally the day before, 2 days before, I broke my ankle. I broke my ankle 2 days after watching the film. 2 days after, because I watched it on Friday, and Sunday I broke my ankle. Fractured my ankle, excuse me. And I think I posted that video, right? I hope I did. I don't really want to record that again. But then Amanda finds Jonas, takes Daniel, and then Eric finds out that Eric finds Xavier chasing Daniel and Amanda. Then he can go WWE on Don Kramer. Then Rig and his team go to a house. But then they find out it's another set of TVs. Turns out this whole entire game was pre-recorded. And I'm like, that kind of made sense because I'm like, what? Never made sense to me in the movies until Amanda finds the door, and then she unlocks it, pulls Daniel down, and then they start running. But then John and Eric find the house that the game played. Then Eric goes down and finds his son. Meanwhile, they come back to the bathroom game, which never understood me. In the original movie, okay, it was placed under a freaking sewer pipe. I don't know, like some other building. Now, tell me this, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me how. What the heck is on my. What the? I don't know. Tell me why the Nerve Guys house has the bathroom game. Maybe they probably got broken down and turned to the house and then abandoned house or something like that. I have no idea. But then Daniel dies from the poison. Then Amanda pulled out a good key point. Then I think that they were trying to pull Saw 1, Xavier cuts his neck, back of his neck, and then when Xavier tries to charge at Amanda, Daniel wakes up, slits his throat with the hacksaw, and then Xavier dies. Finally. It was a B word already. B word in this whole movie. And an a-hole. And then Eric finds a body down the bathroom again because he gets to the bathroom game. Then Eric gets hit with a needle, passes out, wakes up, chained to a pipe, and Amanda's standing there talking about how she's Jigsaw's new apprentice. Yeah. This chick. Did I say the S word? Sorry about that. I am so sorry. Slipped out. I was about to say, this Shy Show is about to get good. Yeah, I was saying Shy Show for a second. I don't know. My pronunciation kind of makes words, but I said Shy Show. Okay, guys? It kind of said like the S word, but it wasn't. For God's sakes. If I did, well, I apologize, okay? I don't curse at all. I do say the H word a little bit. My mom allows me to cuss sometimes, okay? Okay, guys? But it's for things that it's just... I'm sorry. Excuse my language. Jeez, I'm a bad person. Then this crap gets good. And then Eric screams, "He'll effing kill you, you effing B word." I'm like, dude, you're chained up, bro. Then the man closes the door and pulls a John Kramer. How many traps did Jared Kramer put and made? Let's find out the numbers. I'm not gonna make a transition. By my account, there was 6 traps in Saw 2. Higher count than Saw 1. Of a runtime of I don't know how many minutes. I give it a trap every educated guess, 30 minutes. I want to say. The number 3 spot for the bronze medal will have to go with the needle room, with the furnace trap. Really cool trap in my opinion. Really like the concept. Second place for the silver championship, silver medal, whatever the frick you want to call it, has to go with the glass box. I really liked it. Now, originally, the number 1 was going to be the Venus flytrap, but I'm going to give both to the Venus flytrap and the needle pit. Really, really cool idea for a trap. And, yeah, oh yeah, did I say number 2? Number 2 is going to be the glass box. I liked it. Cool trap, by the way, but there's a key on in there. She just took a couple steps, and she can use her other hand just to, And that's it. Saw 2 came out 2005, and Darren Bouthman, the creator, would make 2 more films until he left. Saw 5 will be the new director, but until then, I'm Joseph Jenkins. This has been review. Hey guys, thank you for watching. I know I know I've been not doing it. I've been doing a lot of these and more gaming videos. It's because it's just more fun and not that tedious. And I'm like making compilations. It's easier and it's fun, and you get to hear me talk for like 20 minutes. All right, everybody, be good people. Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm just gonna record this. No, I'm gonna record another review movie. So today, we're gonna be doing the final Saw 3. Now, sorry. Alright. Look who's coming to attack. Look. I don't know if you can see it really well. Oops. But Lenny's attacking because he wants to be near me. Because, with you, right here, if you can hear me real well. Then I'm just gonna, let's see. Alright, cool. Saw 3, which was released in 2006. Saw 3 is by far the worst Saw film that I ever watched. Because, well, we have a slow main character. His name is Jeff, and you'll understand why I hate him. But, let's get into the review. The review begins where we last left off with Eric stuck in the bathroom game. But then he literally tries to grab for his gun, but Amanda's smarter than him and took out all the bullets. But then he finds a hacksaw and saw the foot, thought he wanted it, but then he realized he didn't want to cut off his foot. But then uses a toilet topper, those things, to smash it instead. Then he breaks it, and then he slides down, screaming in English, and we get a title card. Yeah. I'm just gonna spice this one a little bit, alright? So, it's probably not gonna be that as long, but then I'll have to, I'm gonna make a compilation of these, and then, edit it all. So I can delete these 2 videos. If I want to post it, then I'll make the compilation, then post it. If you know what I mean. So, blah. But, yes. Sorry if you can hear stuff fine. I'm outside. Okay, I want to do something different for, like, the 3rd film. But, then we cut to, Anzu's cutting to a room. We find out that it's a classroom. Real cool, John Kramer. Real cool. We find out that it's a trap with Troy. We find out he's chained with a big chain down his jaw, which scared the crap out of me. If you've seen BioChucky, you will know how you're a little squeamish. But then we find out that Troy likes to be living more in chains than he likes to be in freedom. So either Amanda or John had him to rip off chains from his body, probably slowly bleeding out. But then he runs out of time and he explodes, and we meet a new guy, Detective Hoffman. I like the dude. Real bad A. But then Carrie goes because she's worried about Eric Matthews. Don't worry, honey. Don't worry. Amanda wanted to trap him in a classroom. But the door was still shut, so if Troy de-dogged himself, he wouldn't still be alive. Which is kind of messed up. Come on. And then Carrie's doing some police work at our house, not at the station, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. But then Carrie finds a camera in her closet, and Porky comes and kidnaps her. Huge difference. Then this is sad. This is a sad moment for me because I love Detective Carrie. She's such a good character. We find that she's in the Angel Trap. I watched the films and I watched them meet. Okay, he calls it the Angel Trap, which the key to the trap is in the pot of acid. Billy tells her to reach the key in 30 seconds, something like that, or the key will dissolve and she'll be locked there forever. She does it, but we see Amanda walking. Then she holds her arm like this, and her ribs go flying everywhere. It's kind of cold here. If I get sick, I'm doing it for y'all. We meet another character that I really don't like at all. Lynn Denlin. She's a nurse that lost her son. Then she puts a test tube in a patient, then gets kidnapped by Porky. Then we are at the 3rd place in this god dang place. Come on, Saul, keep it place for Jigsaw. Come on, Saul, pick one station. It is a meat packet. Meat pack. Yeah. We find then John Kramer looking rough, my boy. Like she's looking rough. Then they have to. So John Kramer chose Lynn because she has to do a brain operation. Yeah, this whole movie is just weird. So I'm not even in full detail of all the bathroom game about the whole game for John Kramer, but we meet Jeff, or slow mother trucking Jeff. You understand why I'm calling him slow. We find out that Jeff is a grieving father. You'll find out why. You'll see why. You're gonna hear out why. He's literally a drunk, neglectful, grieving father who lost his son to a drunk driver. And then he breaks out. Then we have a flashback of him going crazy and drunk. I mean, his daughter Corbett. We do not get to see her for this entire movie. Okay, this whole film right now is just so confusing to me. All right, I'm like losing my mind little by little. But then he goes in the freezer room, which was just shocking to me because when I was watching it, because I watched this on Peacock when Peacock had for Halloween, they did Peacock had Saw movies on Halloween. It was a really good idea. That was really good. But then we meet the lady in the freezer room, which was just she's butt body naked. Yeah, it was just strange to me. Like I'm like, why, like Ellen Mousman. I get that you're just trying to make Saw 3. I get it. You're trying to make a Saw film. I'm gonna stay because there's saliva in my. There's like it's just weird. Sorry, I'm getting more like saliva. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. I'm spitting. Okay, just don't worry about it, right? I don't know. Just spit right there. Great. And then and then Jeff plays the tape about how she can't run away anymore, and then she gets sprayed with water, which is one of the worst things you could possibly do. And then when he sees she's already frozen, he finally reaches for the key. Come on, Jeff! For God's sakes, do your job. Then he touches her, and then she's fragile. Then John Kramer starts convulsing and has a seizure. It's weird. Next trap is the pig vat, which I literally could not. I had to skip because it was such a gross trap. A judge who gave the guy who killed Jeff's son 5 minutes, like 5 years, like a short sentence for murder. I'm like, yo, judge, you're mean. But then he's gonna drown in pig vat. Right after, like he's like up to here, not here. Like this, like this, like that. I don't know what I'm doing, but and then Jeff finally does something, burns his son's belongings, finds the key, he unlocks the judge, pulls him up, he survives. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm making this a little shorter because I don't know how long this video is going to be. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Lynn does the treatment. We meet a certain lady. That certain lady looks familiar. Stay tuned for Saw 4 to figure it out. But then they find, and then Manny gets all Judge's girlfriend. Now, I watched Cece's World videos, and when he did the Time of Amanda, she starts weirdly kissing his neck, and then I'm gonna pull a line from his video. It's probably telling Lynn to back off, B-word, because I don't know why. I don't know why Amanda's getting jealous of an old man. All right, he is way too old for you, my man, my woman. That's my preference. Just my preference. I'm gonna go straight again. I'm sorry. I am so sorry if anyone had. I don't know. I'm so sorry if anyone heard that, but I don't know what's happening to me right now. Okay. We're back. Yeah, back again. Yeah. And then Amanda pulls out a gun, shoots him, tries to shoot Lynn, and then John goes, Amanda, calm down, dude. Jesus. You're on your deathbed, for Christ's sakes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I know this video is going to be a little shorter. Sorry about that. Just want to get this video quick and done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the trap that made me do this for like the whole entire scene. The rack with Timothy Young. It twists all his bones. But then Jigsaw says you have a choice. Pull out the gun, take a bullet for him with shotgun. Then it started stabbing, but nearly to Timothy Young's death. He literally grabs the key, unties it, and then literally pulls the string back. Then the judge steps like this, and boom, explode his face, killing the judge. I'm like, then Jeff starts screaming how he forgives Timothy Young, and there's the next snaps. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the climax. There's a note from Amanda saying we don't know what it says yet. Then Amanda points out a gun at Lynn, saying she doesn't deserve to live, blah 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 blah. And then when Jeff finds Lynn, Amanda shoots her in the back, I think. But then we find out that Lynn is Jeff's wife. I think I said that wrong, but I don't care. And then Jeff shoots Amanda. Holy crap! A man cracker. Yes. That's the end of Amanda's story. But we find out that this is all Amanda's test. 3rd test in a row. Wow. We find that she's I forgot what you call it. She did Troy's, Amanda, Carrie's, and killed Adam. Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't explain that. We get to see how Amanda kidnapped Adam, and that's how we learned about Daphne game. But yes, Amanda killed Adam. But Jigsaw never kills. Doesn't kill. Are you crapping me right now, bro? He does kill. For God's sakes. But then Jeff grabs a saw. turns it on, and does something that shocked probably everyone in the dang theater. Probably shocked my mom as well. Didn't shock me though because Jeff cuts slits John Kramer's throat. But then the tape plays about how if he wants to find his daughter, she has to play another game. And then Lynn's shotgun collar, because she has a shotgun collar, goes off, and we get to see it in full beauty. And then the movie ends right there. How many traps did Jigsaw finally did before his death? Let's find out at the numbers. By my count, there was I think I want to say 8 traps in Saw 3. What's that? Let's count. We have the rack. I mean, not the rack. We have the classroom, the angel trap, the freezer room. I'm counting the shotgun collar. We had the pig bat. We had rat. We had the back, and we had Jeff's test. I'm counting it as a trap. That is 7 traps. Excuse me, there were 7 traps in this. I'm calling Jeff's game a trap. But I'm not counting Jeff's, but I'm going number 3 with the pig bat. I really liked it. It was honestly pretty good. Coming at number 2, it is Carrie's test. Now for number 1, it was very hard for me to choose, but I'm going with the rack and the classroom trap. Really cool trap idea. It's just the rip. And that's it. Saw 3 came out. It was supposed to be the end of John Kramer and Amanda, but they made Saw 4. I'll be covering that next week, but I'm just saying this has been review. Hey guys, thank you for watching for the review. I just recorded Saw 2, and I'm just posting it. You're probably watching this video, you probably see the posting because I'm going to post this video as well. But alright, but yeah, alright everybody, be good people.